Oh, I'm doing it for myself. Shut up. No, you're not. Do you think everybody's stupid? There's a lot of retards, but not everybody's a retard. Women shouldn't vote. Not only should they not be able to vote, but if they couldn't vote, we would live in paradise. Now, a lot of people dislike this take. I don't care, because I'm right. Now, one of the most obvious and most evident points on the graph we can point to extrapolate out the plethora of reasons of why women shouldn't vote, is mass migration should be one of them. Women in mass, if you just look at the statistics, look at the percentages, women overwhelmingly vote in favor of mass migration so that they can get raped and assaulted and abducted by third world invaders and then blame us for it.
Protect illegal immigrants or homeless veterans?
Illegal immigrants.
Why?
Because they deserve to be here just as much as anyone else, and if you're a veteran, you must have done something wrong to be homeless out here.
They did fight for the country, you know.
Right, but you must have done something wrong if you're homeless and fought for the country, right? I mean, I don't think there should be any borders, you know? I think people should just live wherever they want to live.
All right, guys, this is why we need to repeal the 19th Amendment, because of dumb occur.
I have no comment for that.
Blame the Western-born men for it. When we told you, retards, that this was a bad idea, and now somehow your retarded suicidal empathy is now on our shoulders to fix. Thanks a lot. How about we just never allow you guys the ability to ruin society from the inside out in the first place? Women are now genuinely afraid to go outside in Europe. They truly are. Little girls are getting abducted and stuffed in cars and taken advantage of, and in some cases, literally beheaded. You know why? Because women voted for men and women that chose open border policy over the sanctity of maintaining the culture in their country. They're retarded. Mass migration has cascading effects of so many things. There's so many problems that open border policy leads to. And women are not forward thinkers. They are not. Women are emotional, in the moment individuals. They are not people that think logistically 10, 20 steps ahead. They're, by and large, they're not. And I know, like, the whatever podcast and these street interviews, walk up to random people, and yeah, are they looking at the bottom of the barrel of society when they ask these women questions and they just give the most retarded, brain dead thing you could possibly even say, and they don't know, you know, basic math. They can't name 3 countries. They don't know when the nation was founded. Yeah, that's a lot more people than you think. It's really a lot more. There's a lot more retards on this planet. And there's a lot of stupid, dumbass females. There are. And they're ruining the country. They're ruining the West. Literally. That's just one issue. Another aspect is how they ruin the economy. Because the government now gets to tax the home twice. Not only does the man have to work, the man has lower wages, the man has a double the difficulty of being able to provide off of a single income now, but also the woman's getting taxed. So we get paid less and the government gets paid double. And women don't even realize that, and women don't truly even want to be in the workforce, if we're being honest. You're not going to use some TikTok new age ideology to undo biology that God created us all to have, okay? Women like being taken care of. Women like choosing the man that hunts the buffalo. That is nature. There's nothing wrong with that. So a married couple's home, assuming both partners work, is now getting taxed twice. And what happens when you have children? When both parents are at work, you're not raising your child. The state is raising your child. The state gets to indoctrinate them into Marxist communists like we have now. Go to any college campus and go to a group of girls walking in the grass and go ask them their political opinions. They all think the same thing. It's all a progressive cesspit of retards that are narcissistic and think they're smarter than you because they have some meaningless piece of paper attached to their name. The man is constantly working. The woman is constantly working. That causes stress on both sides because the man is supposed to have the stress of the world. The woman is meant to have the stress of the home. That has been completely ruined and uprooted. And we have generations of retarded kids now that are being, exactly like I said earlier, raised by the state. You don't want your children raised by the state. That's how they start wanting to chop their penises off and tell you that they want to be a furry unicorn, two-spirited fox demon. That's how that happens, right? Because Christ has been removed from the school, the Bible's been removed from public life, secular children being raised up in secular homes that don't even have the structure of a father and mother because they only see them in the morning and at nighttime. Sorry, I kind of lost track of what I was saying. So these are more 19th Amendment things, right? What has the 19th Amendment also done? It has made people that do want traditional relationships almost impossible. A man has to bust his ass. I'm married. It's very exceedingly difficult to survive off of one income. I don't make enough for that, man. I do not. It makes it so hard for anybody that wants a traditional relationship. The man has to bust his ass, or you have to get lucky, or take off in some area, or have some investment go up really well. But the likelihood of having a prosperous traditional relationship is so much more exceedingly difficult for all the people in this country and in the West that want it, because women are now competing with men in the workforce, and it is oversaturating everything and lowering the wages across the board. Women have suicidal empathy of narcissism. They truly do. White liberals, they view themselves as better than third world migrants. They view themselves as better than black people. And they don't even realize how backhanded it is to think that we need your help, that minorities need your help. White women are the most softcore, racist, literal pieces of garbage, and they call everybody else bigots. A white liberal woman would call me a racist bigot because I don't want her white ass trying to feel like she has to bend over backwards to help me out in life. I don't need you, bitch. I don't want you. It's so insulting to what all you're doing by telling me that I need help is saying that you believe that you're better than me. You believe you're better off than me. You believe that you have more opportunities than me. It is so exhausting. There's nothing that will reveal a liberal's true colors of racism more than being a minority and going against their dogma. And also the feminists. The feminists that claim that they love women so much and men shouldn't do this and men shouldn't do that. Then you ruin your own civilization by importing Mohammed, Baljit, Ahmed to come over and rape you and rape your sisters and rape your cousins and rape your friends because they come from countries where women are literally relegated to animals, but they don't want you to know that because you're a retard. And then you blame all of the Western men for all of these increased crime statistics as if we're the ones that voted for this. It's so stupid. It's a self-eating snake. You put yourself in danger, but somehow it's TJ's fault. Somehow it's Kevin's fault. Somehow it's Kyle's fault. We told you retarded niggas not to vote for them. We told you that. Because men are forward thinkers. Men are logical. Men are logistical. Men are trepidatious. Women, by and large, are not. And also, the exception's not the rule. I don't care if, oh, well, my mom and my cousin and my aunt and my grandma and my boss and my coworker and, okay, so what? They're outnumbered. That's irrelevant. They're outnumbered by the exceeding amount of retards. Even nurses. I work at a hospital. You have to be pretty intellectually capable to go through nursing school, graduate, and then maintain it as a career. It blows my mind how many professional retards I work with. It is insane. Majority women, by the way. Oh, but there's liberal men. There's liberal men. You know why there's so many liberal men? Because women have authority in governance. That's why. Most men are liberal because they want the retardo women to find them morally acceptable in their eyes through their worldview. Most liberal men, because being a liberal is retarded. Being a liberal is saying that I want to give my stuff away. and thinking that people are Nazis for believing in borders. It's being a liberal is taking all of the logic out of your brain and just letting it fall out of your ear and then running all your decisions solely based off of emotion, short-term thinking. So women who are naturally liberal create these weak men that want to seem virtuous to them, so they'll consider dating them, because men want sex, women want relationships. Men control the keys to relationship and marriage, women control the keys to sex. So they make effeminate men that sacrifice their manhood and that, hide their true opinions and the real way that they see the world, because they want to seem virtuous and acceptable to these retarded women that have been given authority and governance that they never should have been given. It was the biggest mistake in all of Western civilization. Also, women do not want equality. Women hate equality, actually. Women like advantages. That's what women want. Women want all of the advantages and everything that comes with privilege without any of the responsibility of it. So women want to vote, but women don't want to be in selective service. They don't want to risk being drafted in case there's a war. That seems pretty unequal to me. That seems like some bullshit, actually. That seems really dumb. Women claim they want equality, yet they love taking advantage of men in the family court system. They love getting over on a man and making him pay a bunch of unnecessary excess money in child support so that their lazy asses don't have to work. Women will fake a relationship for years just because a man has money. Like, these are the kind of creatures that we're dealing with. And it's just nature. It's biology, okay? And women love their biology. They love the benefits of it. They love how unfair things are in their corner, advantageous for them. And then when you call those things out, you're a misogynist somehow. It's like there's no reasoning in it whatsoever. So why even take it seriously for a second? Women claim they want equality, yet if somebody's being beaten up in the street, a woman is never expected to intervene. They will never expect themselves to intervene. It's always going to be a man, because gender roles are a real thing. And women want traditional masculine men that also act like their best friend, that also stop playing video games when they want. It's like women want a man, yet whenever they want them to be a man at their convenience. They don't want a partner, they want a slave. It's ridiculous. And then we're misogynists. That doesn't make any sense. It's socially acceptable to demean, bully, attack, degrade, emasculate men. But a dude raises her voice to a chick in an interview and all of a sudden Twitter thinks he's a villain. It's so retarded. Like, you see how foolish and stupid these things are. Why do we give them any authority? They don't have any authority. God is real. Jesus is real. The Bible is real. And gender roles were created for a reason. Women were not given power in the church. They were not given power in government. They were not given power in legislation. That's not their role. It's not their role. Women are not built for that. Men are built for certain things. Women are built for certain things. I don't know why both sexes can't just stay in their damn lane, but the devil wants to confuse us and cause us to fight and be against each other. No. How about follow the word of God? And then all of our problems would disappear. Another reason why the 19th Amendment needs to be done away with is because women are trying to compete with men in society instead of complement men. That's what they're trying to do. They don't want to be equal to men. They want to earn more money without having to work as hard. That's what they want. They're trying to have a dick measuring contest with men. Women have a lot of advantages early in life, especially attractive ones. Men have a lot of advantages later in life because it doesn't matter how fat, how ugly, how awkward a man is, he can still figure out a way to be extremely successful in something. Women have value assigned to them at birth. Their beauty, their vagina, their body, their curvaceousness. Women are valued automatically because they have a womb that can carry a man's offspring. Men have to build themselves up. Men have to become something. Men have to become valuable. So Like men have a late game build and women are like min-maxing for the early game, essentially. In video game RPG terminologies. It's not going to work. When you have a society where both sexes are competing with each other for different jobs, for different institutions, there's going to grow resentment on both sides. There just is. And what does that competition always segue into? It segues into a 45-minute video of a lonely white woman sitting in her house alone, saying that she regrets feminism, saying how badly she wishes that she would have desired a husband and bore children and had a fulfilling life. But accomplishments and conquests are fulfilling to men, not to women. Again, don't be a retard. The exception is not the rule. Just because 3 out of 100 women are the opposite does not mean the overwhelming majority of women would be far more fulfilled being homemakers and taking care of children. Let's stop trying to pretend that we can outrun biology, that we can outrun God's design. We're not as smart as God, okay? We're not. That's why everything humans try to do separate from God crumbles and fails immediately. Another reason the 19th Amendment should be erased. Women claim men are violent. Women claim men murder and attack people. And they wouldn't be entirely wrong. However, over the last 40 years, women have killed more people via abortions than any man, any army, any nation ever has throughout the entire course of human history combined. And that is a horrific fact. We are cannibalizing ourselves by murdering children out of convenience. I am pro-life all the way. If you don't want to have a child, don't have sex. It's not that hard. It's really not. And again, retard, the exception's not the rule. Oh, what if she was raped by her father and blah, 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 blah. Okay, the 0.00001% of all abortions, you're going to use that as a justification to make all of them okay? That's so stupid. How about just pinpoint the exception and then make special case rules for that alone? But 99% of abortions, retards, happen because women choose the easy way out. Or couples choose the easy way out. And, oh, we're not financially ready. Oh, well, you were sexually ready. You pulled your dick out and she took her panties off. What do you mean? You guys made that decision. You created that life. It's your responsibility now. How about be smarter next time? And they never want to talk about the depression. How many women kill themselves and can't go on with life after the horrific emotional damage that an abortion does to them, to their psyche, to their mental, to their soul? It's horrific. Have you seen women that have had several abortions or multiple abortions? Their eyes are soulless. They're not human beings anymore. Another reason why the 19th Amendment should be erased. They claim that a loving husband is an oppressor, but a boss that will fire you as soon as you need maternity leave is liberation to them. That literally doesn't make sense. That's so retarded. Men are simple creatures. Men want pretty wife, big ass, submissive. Do you know how many men would happily go to work every day for the rest of their life if they got to come home to a woman that truly loved them and they were extremely comfortable off of that one income and everything wasn't extremely expensive and all the jobs weren't garbage because everybody wasn't competing with each other? Not only men with women, but now we have illegal aliens on top of that. About 25 million of them. Thanks, Biden, stupid bitch. A husband will care for you. A husband will provide for you. A husband will make sure that you are taken care of. A boss does not care about you. A boss is using you to make him money, to make his business more prosperous. You are an ant, and you really truly believe that your stupid receptionist job or you wiping some old man's ass as a nurse. Now, a lot of women are called to being nurses. That's not a dig at that profession or anything like that. But there's also a lot that aren't. There's also a lot that do it just because they make a good living, that hate their job and they're so unfulfilled. Your boss, it does not make you liberated because you get to clock in every day at a certain time. And if you miss a week of work without saying anything, you're going to get fired anyways. That's not liberating. It is not liberating. You have a dress code at work and you have to wear a uniform or abide by the standards that your place of employment put out there. And that's perfectly fine. Your work dress code is okay. But when your husband doesn't want you showing too much cleavage when you go out to eat with your homegirls, you're oppressed? Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that a husband that loves you and wants you to respect him as he respects you? Who told you that's oppression? Why have you been convinced into hating a man that cares about you or hating the sentiment of you wanting to be safe? Because you know what men think when they see you dressed provocatively? They think you can be victimized so easily by a man, by a lesser man than me that doesn't want to protect you, who only wants one thing, is going to pursue you and want to do bad things. Not only that, but you having the desire to dress provocatively shows that you don't care about your husband. You don't care about your relationship. Because why do you feel the need to dress inappropriately when you have someone right there? Who are you trying to appeal to? Oh, I'm doing it for myself. Shut up. No, you're not. Do you think everybody's stupid? There's a lot of retards, but not everybody's a retard. Women are emotional. Women think in the now, by and large, because they capitulate so much to their emotions. And what are emotions? Fleeting, temporary. A man could literally want to off himself, but he's working towards a goal. So he's like, okay, whatever, I'll off myself later. I got to accomplish this right now. Men can endure suffering for something. Women really don't like that. Men have different roles in society. Women have different roles in society that should be embraced. But Satan has brainwashed women into believing that their role is reductive and unimportant. A woman's role is not reductive and unimportant. Do you know how good I feel when I come home after a long day at work and I have a hot plate waiting for me and the counters are cleaned off and everything looks all nice and tidy and the bathroom is clean, where all that little tedious house stuff, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to do that. Do you know the stress that brings off of a man's shoulders when he went out fighting against the world the whole day, like the entire day, the entire week? It's so incredible. It's actually amazing. It's awesome. 10 out of 10 recommend. That is a feeling that should be appreciated and exalted, and it's important. It really is. It's not reductive. Women don't even want to work. They don't. You ask any woman off the street, would you rather have a man that wants to take care of you and pay all your bills while you can chill and be a homemaker? Do you know how many women would say, yeah, I'd rather do that than this? Yeah, I'd rather do that than clock in every day. Like at least 85% of women. If you took a national poll across the country and asked any woman, would you rather have a man provide for you or would you rather provide for yourself? At least 85, I feel like I'm being very conservative with that. Maybe 95% of every woman you ask would in some way or another, even if they don't flat out admit it, they would dance around the question to essentially say yes. I'm not being crazy in that assumption. I 100% wholeheartedly believe that is a fact. The way that Satan has pit men and women in Western society against each other, that nigga's running victory laps. And it makes me so sad. We need to rebuke this demonic oppression of our societies in Jesus' mighty matchless name. And we need to start embracing our roles again, because the most prosperous time in American history was like the 50s and 60s, where things were how they should be. Or maybe even like the 1920s. And did abuse happen? Did husbands, do too much? And did they have too many rights over their wives? Sure. You can totally make that argument. I'm not saying we have to go back to the archaic way that things were. But what we have right now is not working. What we have right now is reductive and evil. What we have right now is setting us back, pitting people against each other, causing division. We have no unity. It's just everybody against one another. For what? Why? Because the government wants you to ignore everything that they're doing and fight your neighbor. And the war of the sexes has been one of the most destructive things in modern history. Women, you know you would be happier if wages doubled for men, if women got removed from the workforce. You would instantly become submissive. You would instantly become non-argumentative. You would instantly start listening to a man's lead. Why? Because you would want to be desirable to a man for him to take care of you. That's how everything should be. A man should see a woman that is everything he could ever imagine, and she's gorgeous to him. And he commits his life to taking care of that woman and taking care of the children that the two of them have together. And that is a beautiful thing that has been lost on this society with over competition, situationships, sexual liberation, sexual immorality, an expectation of intercourse while dating. There's no sanctity whatsoever with waiting for marriage. Everything about the modern dating culture is evil. It's destructive, and you are sinning against your own flesh. Every single aspect of Western civilization has been on a decline as soon as women had all of these rights that they don't even have as equal to men. They have advantages over men because the same expectations of a man in society are not on a woman in society. Why? Because we're different. Because men are stronger, men can handle more, men work longer hours, men sacrifice their desires more. That's not a dig at women. It is just reality. It's the world. It is the way that God created us to be. Now, if you're watching this video and you're not a Christian and you don't acknowledge God and you don't respect the natural order that He laid out for us, you're cooked. You're cooked. And I pray to God that the Holy Spirit comes to you before it's too late, because we're living in the last days. And to look around in society and think, oh, that this is just because of the flesh. This is just because people are crazy, or because some physical villain you can point to, or some ideological villain you can point to. No, it's because this is spiritual warfare. That's what it is. It's because there are things happening in the spiritual that are far more real than the physical. And just because you're spiritually retarded and want to choose to ignore that and think that everything's going crazy just because, you might be more retarded than the women that need their rights taken away. Anyways, it's been TJ Shaputin. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Doesn't make me any less right. Doesn't make you any less wrong. So yeah, have a great one. Catch you in the next one. Deuces.
I'm living my life in obedience, that's the main reason I get what I want. My nigga, I got the ingredients, I'm in this motherfucker cooking like Gory. Little bitch, I'm shotty, man, with a Kelly, I wear a tuxedo with the Michael Jordans, yeah. 500,000 in liquid inside of my BOA, little bitch, I'm loaded. I got a 20 ball in my backpack, so much chicken I can't even fold it. Pussy, I built shit up off of nothing, but he had a